So, hello and welcome to the Ultimate Formula Cup. It is the second race of the weekend, of course, and we're getting ready on the grid to go racing with these single-seaters at Magny-Cours. We've already had one of the race weekends. The races get underway today, and it was won by Enzo Riche, the championship leader. And it was drama in that race as well, as we saw Juan Francisco Soldevini crash. So it will be an exciting start to this race because it's once again Enzo Riche lining up on pole position, and we will be looking out to see if Juan Francisco Soldevini is there. And he is, I can see, he is just lining up behind Enzo Riche here. Car number 66, which is the championship leader. And behind, I can see Juan Francisco Soldevini. So brilliant work from Team Ferrari to get things underway and get that car back out. Unfortunately, he had a clash with Dylan Estra into turn 5 in that first race. And unfortunately, his race was over, so the championship lead got extended for Enzo Riche. And the second race will get underway very, very shortly. Race 2 for the Ultimate Formula Cup. And hopefully we will have Chris down on the grid and we'll be able to chat to our pole position. Looks like we're looking to speak to Dylan Estra, actually. Not entirely sure there. Looks like maybe sometimes the drivers don't always speak English, or sometimes they don't want to speak. So it could have been a case of that. But that was Dylan Estra, who's had a fantastic start to his Ultimate Formula Cup campaign so far. He's a rookie and he has been racing in the French Formula 4. And he's 9th in the championship at the moment. But managed to pick up a podium in his first race. So brilliant stuff from Dylan Estra. So the way the first race ended was Enzo Riche took the win from Nano Lopez, and Dylan Estra was 3rd overall for Formula Motorsport in the 13 inches, and brilliant race again from Nano Lopez in the Formula Renault 2.0. It looks like Chris Stevens is standing by, though, to speak to Enzo Riche, who's on pole position.
Yes, I'm down here with the pole sitter, Enzo Riche, and it was a great performance for Enzo in race number 1. Can you do it again now?
I hope so. I hope to have a good start and, yes, to win the second race.
Few spots of rain on those reconnaissance laps. Is that a concern at all?
No, it's just a bit of water, but not enough to put some wets.
Okay. Cool. Well, good luck out there. We've just had the 3-minute klaxon, so that means we've got to get out of here quite quickly. But I will say, though, that Dylan Estra's car came in with this front element of the car missing, this top of the chassis that was missing. They've just had to reattach it and put the stickers back on there. So not quite sure how that's happened, but minor drama for Dylan Estra before the start of this race. And as I said, Claire, it is just starting to spit out here ever so slightly. So keep an eye out on that as we go for lights out.
Thank you, Chris. Interesting stuff there from Dylan Estra. That must have been what Chris was talking to him about just before we spoke to Enzo Riche. And I did feel the spots of rain also outside, and there are some looming black clouds around. So be interesting to see what happens there with the rain coming down for these single-seaters. We've got 3 different classes today, but most of them are Formula Renault 2.0 machinery, or they are the Formula Regional 13 inches, though I believe we do have one 17 inches out there as well. So the championship battle, though, is between Enzo Riche, who is car number 66, and of course Juan Francisco Soldevini. The Team Ferrari team have done an incredible job to get that car back out on the grid. There was some concern that they wouldn't be able to get him back out there, but obviously he has, so brilliant news. So it will be Enzo Richer starting on pole position, Dylan Estra alongside him, and he's new into this championship, only joining us this weekend. He has, like I said, competed in French Formula 4, and he's not unknown to winning. He won in Dijon a couple of weeks ago in the French F4 and was awarded a win despite finishing second across the line in Paul Ricard a few weeks ago, but it turned out actually that the penalty that was given to the person that won didn't stand anymore, so he was promptly demoted again to second, but second still pretty good, and especially in his rookie season here in the Ultimate Formula Cup. Hope to see him again. He's been a really exciting driver to watch, especially in the first one, and of course we did see, unfortunately, into turn 5 he went a bit hot onto the brakes and took out Juan Francisco Soldevini, which is important in the championship in terms of points, because coming into this round he was looking to chase down Enzo Richer with just 3.5 points between them. But now the championship has swung quite a lot back to Enzo Richer. So formation lap is underway. A little bit of wheel spin off the line there for Enzo Richer, but that's not the start that matters at this point. The start that matters will happen in about a minute's time. So we'll take you through the grid very shortly and work out exactly where everyone is starting. The second race of the weekend for the Ultimate Formula Cup. One race to go off the back of this, and then we will head into Paul Ricard for the 3 final races, and it looks like the overall championship for the 13 inches will be taken to Paul Ricard at this point. So the grid will line up as Enzo Richer on pole position, car number 66. Dylan Estra on his debut weekend will be second. Juan Francisco Soldevini third. Nano Lopez once again really impressing in the Ultimate Formula Cup, starting 4th. And then we've got Auburn Robert Prince, who is starting in 5th place. And then Evan Mounier, who is back for his second Ultimate Cup outing, in 6th. Arthur Agator is in 7th. Frederic Boileau is in 8th. In 9th is Sarine Ziffel, who's joining us again for this first race weekend for her. So on debut also. In 10th is Walter Rijkaard. Alain Boucher, 11th. Alessandra Lima, who is also new for is starting in 12th place, car number 9. Thierry Mahon is starting in 13th, and Didier Piard is in 14th, and at the back is Robert Siska. Rounding up the top 15, or the only 15, as these cars just get a bit of heat in the tyres, and I'll be interested to see if that rain does start coming down. It's patchy weather out there, but I'm not necessarily thinking that it's going to be a wet race. We were forecast to have some rain today, so will it come down for while these drivers are out on track? We will find out very shortly. So this beautiful track, as you can see, it's got great scenery around here, located pretty central in France, very centre indeed, quite hard to get to actually is this track. And it's about 160 miles from Paris, and Lyon's not too far as well, 150 miles or so, but it's a very central in France, which makes the flight over. We had 2 flights over to Paris. Anyway, let's concentrate on the race now. But Enzo Richer then pulls into pole position. Alongside him will be Dylan Estra, and you just see there Juan Francisco Soldevini just slotting in just behind Enzo Richer in 3rd. It will be an important start off the line. Enzo Richer is very confident of his starts, and we will see exactly what's going on when the lights go out and the pedals will go to, here are the lights then, 3, 4, engines start to rev, and we are racing then in Magny-Cours, and it is quite a slow start from Enzo Richer, but he's managed to pull away a little bit better now and starts to create a lead already going into turn 1. So I take that back, it was actually a brilliant start from Enzo Richer, so good work from the championship leader. As he said, very good at his starts, and he's proving once again that he is. It's Dylan Estra behind then, being hunted down by Juan Francisco Soldevini. Top 3 once again pulling away, as we've seen so often in this Ultimate Formula Cup, especially as we've seen today. Juan Francisco Soldevini looking a little bit wobbly there. That's where they had the contact last time, turn 5. Looking to see if he can do it on the inside there to get round Dylan Estra. These two have now got a little bit of beef between them after Dylan Estra managed to knock Soldevini off the track earlier. He did get a drive-through penalty for it, but still ended up on the podium. So I've got to say that's really impressive work from Dylan Estra. But at this point, Juan Francisco Soldevini cannot get past Dylan Estra. Some battles going on behind. That's Auburn Robert Prince, and he's been chased down by Evan Moyne, it looks like. And just in front of them is Nano Lopez. So 20 minutes on the clock, and unfortunately at the moment, Dylan Estra looks like he's still under pressure from Juan Francisco Soldevini. The start is under investigation again, like we had for the first race, but it didn't actually affect the overall, so hopefully all the top players are okay within that start investigation. Keep you updated if I hear anything more from race control. So we start the first lap then, come across the line. Enzo Richer still pulling off quite a good lead at the moment by 7/10. I'm sure he'll want to build on that lead as well. And Dylan Estra is still under pressure from Juan Francisco Soldevini. Here is the battle between Auburn Robert Prince and Nano Lopez. So Nano Lopez must have had a bit of a bad start because he's dropped back to 6th at the moment, and just in front of him is Evan Moyne, so he must have been able to get past Auburn Robert Prince at some point. Here we go then. Is he going to be able to do it here into turn 5? It's a bit popular corner to try and overtake, it has been. And he does. Oh, good save. Brilliant save from Nano Lopez then. He was nearly about to lose that rear end and beach it into the grass, but he saved it, and I'm sure he will be happy about that one as well. Auburn Robert Prince then manages to get away with that one a little bit longer. Turn 5 obviously is the Adelaide hairpin, named after a turn on the Adelaide track, as well as Auburn Robert Prince then trying to fight back here, but unfortunately has to yield that position after all, because Nano Lopez did manage to get past him in the end. Brilliant racing from Nano Lopez, who's, like I said earlier in the race, earlier this morning, he came into this championship in Mugello and has absolutely completely blown us all away in a bit of a lock up there front right, but other than that, managed to get away with it. But he's blown us all away because he's in a Formula Renault 2.0. I keep saying 2.5, it's not 2.5. Formula Renault 2.0. So, a bit wide there from Juan Francisco Soldevini, maybe still showing a little issues. I walked into the Team Garage during the endurance race that we had earlier, and they were working incredibly hard to get that car back out. It only looked like a very light touch that Dylan Estra had on the back of Juan Francisco Soldevini, but the problem is, a bit wide there from Enzo Richer as well. I wonder if that rain is starting to come down a little bit more. I'm looking out and it doesn't look like it's particularly raining out there, but suddenly we're seeing a couple of the cars a bit slidey, so I'll have to keep an eye on that one. Doesn't feel like there's rain out there, but I am sitting in a commentary box, so it's always a bit more difficult for me to completely say if it is raining or not. It was spitting a little bit about 5 minutes before, so championship leader Enzo Richer has managed to keep control of this race so far. Is now being chased down a little bit by Dylan Estra after Juan Francisco Soldevini seemed to lose it on his own a little bit. He's let Dylan Estra start chasing down Enzo Richer now. 15 minutes left on the clock. And you do wonder at this point if, even if Enzo Richer, I mean, all racing drivers want to win, let's be honest, but even if Enzo Richer was being put under pressure from Dylan Estre is only joining us for this weekend so far. So you sort of think going very wide there as well, again. Seeing a few issues maybe for Enzo Richer, or just being put under pressure by this very fast Dylan Estre just behind. But you would think if he is under pressure from Dylan Estre, he's not going to try and make any silly mistakes out there because he's got a championship to win. So you would suspect he would sort of allow Dylan Estre through, but that shows why I'm not a racing driver and why these guys are, because mostly racing drivers just want to win and they've got no interest in but sometimes you have to be calculated and no. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Because at the moment, 5/10 is what separates Dylan Estre and Enzo Richer at the front. So this is the battle from car 33, which is Thierry Malholm, getting up to, it looks like, 10th place, getting past Sarin Ziffel, who is new to the championship again this weekend. She's been consistently in the top 10 at the moment, and now she will be down to 11th due to Thierry Malholm getting past. And she's looking like she's under pressure as well from Alain Boucher and Arthur Agata. I looked away for 10 seconds. I feel like no, she didn't let them pass, sorry. My mistake. So Enzo Richer is now, again, like I said, under pressure from Dylan Estre. He's just pulled out a 10th on him as he sets the fastest lap time, does Dylan Estre. So he's starting to really reel in the championship leader now, isn't he? You can see every single lap is just getting a bit closer and closer to Enzo Richer. And can a move happen here into turn 5? Oh, it's not turn 5. Apologies. I thought it was I thought we were heading towards turn 5. Then we are not. But Dylan Estre is clearly wanting to get a win on his debut here, isn't he? And yeah, he's been really impressive. He is related, as we know, to Kevin Estre. And there was some debate whether we think it's his brother. Is what my French colleagues have assured me, but he's 16 years old, and obviously Kevin Estre has been racing for a few years now in the World Endurance Championship, long affiliation with Porsche, and still racing for Porsche now in the World Endurance. Obviously won GTE in 2018-19, and he's also won quite a few titles with Porsche, so he's definitely got the right blood here to be fighting. So into turn 1 they go then, and Dylan Estre is really chasing down Enzo Richer now into those little kinks there at turn 1 and 2. Now we are following Eben Moignet, I think it looks like. Yes, it is. And he's currently 4th at the moment. And here we go. Here's the battle we're after. The battle for the lead at the moment between Enzo Richer and Dylan Estre. You can see they've really closed. On my timing screen it says it's 5/10, but that would be across the line. So every single lap it does feel like he's just closing in a little bit, doesn't it? It looks like he's dropped back a little bit now, actually, has Dylan Estre. Ooh, nearly lost the rear end a little bit there. Quite slidey out there, aren't they, today? Makes me think that small little layer of rain might have caused a few sliding tyres, but I don't think it would have been enough. I really don't believe it would have been enough to cause any difference out there. So 10 minutes left on the clock then. And it is this championship battle, which Dylan Estre has just joined on the penultimate round of the season, and he's stuck himself right in the middle of the championship leader and the championship, another championship contender, the two that are battling out for the championship, and he's just causing them both a lot of issues. And I quite respect it from Dylan Estra. Enzo Richer then being put under huge pressures. Juan Francisco Soldabini just at the back, still struggling a little bit. For traction, it looked along out of the final corner into turn 17. Oh, Enzo was lucky to hold on to that one. There was a bit of a tyre screech because he went incredibly wide and nearly lost it. However, managed to hold on to it. You can see Dylan Estra's really putting pressure on Enzo Richer here. He's not letting him go, and he's hunting him down every single lap. So what can be done from here for Dylan Estra? Does he continue chasing? The tyres won't last forever. So Juan Francisco Soldavini unfortunately looks like he's out of the battle for the win at the moment, so would settle for third place as it stands. Evan Moynier is in fourth and Nano Lopez in fifth. Auburn Robert Prince is in sixth at the moment. Frederick Wallow in seventh. Walter Reichardt is in eighth, and ninth is Alexandra Lima. Artur Agator not having the best race so far of his Ultimate Formula Cup career, and currently sitting 10th at the moment, as the two once again blast past the start-finish straight and into the left-hander of turn 1. And round the sweeping right-hander of turn 2. And turn 3 as well. And then the long stretch, the back into turn 4. Blues being shown to, oh, Walter Reichardt has lost it somehow. Unfortunate. Oh, there's a few of them have gone off as well. That's also Ziffel was having a problem there. Walter Reichardt is spinning his wheels desperately to get out. Looks like there's some damage to the front left of, I can't quite see who that is as we're just going, oh, another, is it raining? I see there must be spots of rain out there because we are all starting to lose it a little bit, and I'm just getting Chris Stevens is just telling me that it is now really raining out there, so that is why we're starting to see these cars start to spin off. So watch these two at the front. You can now see the rain visually out there. Enzo Richer, this is the last thing he wanted, and you can see he slowed down a little bit now, just trying to get a little bit more heat in those tyres as the rain's really starting to come down. Still being chased down by Dylan Estra. So safety car is out because these guys are all on slicks. So they're not going to be able to stay out if it's really raining. It just becomes quite dangerous for the cars. So you'd have to come in and get some new tyres and get your wet weather tyres on. And unfortunately for Walter Reichardt, he might have to stay there for a bit longer. As the front nose, as I can see on one of our other cameras, there it is. Perfect timing of, I'm pretty sure that is, unfortunately, Serene Ziffel, who is missing quite a significant part of the car. So we'll see if that debris is on the track somewhere, as Walter Reichardt is very efficiently moved out of, oh, there sounds like someone else there has gone as well. Couldn't quite see who, but you can hear that. Listen to that rain. Yeah, so I did wonder why we were starting to see these cars sliding around a little bit more, and that would have been because that rain is starting to come down. 6 minutes left under safety car conditions for Walter Reichardt, who is stuck in the gravel, and also because it's pretty wet out there. So I have to keep it tiptoeing around now, around there are the wet tyres looking like they are very, well, looking good. Looking exactly what all the drivers want to be on, and unfortunately they will all be on slicks at the moment. So Walter Reichardt still in the gravel, I can see at the moment. He is out of his car, thankfully. I didn't think there was any concern for his well-being at all, but always good to see a driver get out the car, and unfortunately the car not faring as well and still stuck in the gravel. We're watching, though, the safety car at the moment. And that's what I was just mentioning there. Walter Rijkaard just on the left of the screen is just being pulled out of the gravel. So you can see that rain is really starting to, well, definitely coming down. I say starting to come down. It's been coming down for a while now. And that track's going to start getting quite soggy. So as it stands at the moment, under safety car conditions, it's Enzo Richer leading the way. Dylan Estra is in second, and it looks like Juan Francisco Soldavini has just been in the pit lane. It says pit out. So I'll be intrigued to see if that is correct. Nano Lopez then is in fourth place at the moment, and Evan Moyne in fifth, and Auburn Robert Prince is sixth at the moment. Leading the way in the Formula Renault 2.0 is Nano Lopez. We look like we've seen some cars that have gone into the pit lane to put on their wet tyres. That's car 125, which is Robert Siska, who is 81 years old under that visor, and is a former ATP tennis player, and he has elected to go in and change some tyres for slicks. So safety car remains. There you can see on the bottom right of your screen, that's Walter Rijkaard's car just being moved away from the track and into a safe position. 3 minutes left on the clock. Will we get some more racing to go? The concern here is that some of the cars are on completely the wrong tyres for wet weather. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the last couple of moments of this race, because if it is very wet out there, there's no way slick tyres can stay on the track. But if it's only a passing shower, so to speak, you can see those tyres are wet though. So they're staying on the track now, but the safety car's still got the windscreen wipers going and the lights are still on, and you can hear on this shot specifically, you can hear the rain coming down. So Juan Francisco Soldavini has come in, and I assume he might have, let me see if I can just see behind if he's on, he looks like he's on wet weather tyres. So I haven't seen the front lot come in. So I haven't seen Enzo come in, I haven't seen Dylan come in, I haven't seen Nano Lopez come in, so I haven't seen Evan Moyne come in either. So they're currently, as it stands, still on dry weather tyres. Juan Francisco Soldavini though, and let's see if I can see, should be on wet tyres. Interesting, an interesting development. Unfortunately, the timing screen here doesn't specify what tyres everyone's on, so you sort of have to remember and guess and have a look. But I would suspect at this point, see what Juan Francisco Soldavini's, I still can't quite see. I need him to stop. Anyway, we might not get racing back underway under this rain anyway, so it might have been a bit of a gamble for Juan Francisco Soldavini, who has come back out in 7th. So we shall see what it happens after it shakes out under the safety car. But yeah, the rain might be a little bit too much for the cars to go back racing again. So as it would sound, Enzo Richer would extend his championship lead and get into a comfortable position to win this championship. Dylan Estra would pick up another podium on his debut weekend, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to get racing again. And Nano Lopez will be 3rd. Safety car lights still on and 40 seconds left. It's not like we get 40 seconds plus 1 lap. It's once this goes down to 0, it is the final lap. So I would be pretty confident that this will be the final lap of the race, and it will finish under the safety car, which is disappointing, but makes sense in some ways. And Enzo Richer will extend his championship lead again. So always disappointing a little bit to finish under the safety car, isn't it? But all about the safety in this situation, and that rain is just coming down a little bit too much to be able to get everyone in to change their tyres in time to get this racing underway. So we will finish it under the safety car, and it will be another win for Enzo Richer, and he won't care. He will be happy to put another win to his name, of course, because he is looking to win a championship, and this is a good way of doing it. Winning 2 races in a row. And obviously there's no overtaking in the under safety car conditions. So as much as Dylan Estra would love to see if he could overtake Enzo Richer there, who is tiptoeing round, isn't he? He knows he's safe under the safety car now, and he's just got to keep it on the track and get round the final bits before the checkered flag is out and he can continue with his championship plight. Oh, that's right. Anyway, and we are back under green flag, of course, for the 2 seconds that it is that Enzo Richer can cheer and look incredibly happy with himself there. Under the rain, unfortunately under the safety car, but the checkered flag is out, and Enzo Richer extends his championship lead over Juan Francisco Soldevini. So anyone that changed for slicks there may not have done the right thing, because we did not go racing again, unfortunately. However, Enzo Richer has extended his lead in the Ultimate Formula Cup to his closest rival, which is Frédéric Boileau, after Juan Francisco Soldevini scored no points last time out. And they're all racing in the Formula Regional at 13 inches. So celebrations, I'm sure, for Enzo Richer. He'll be pleased with that one. He kept it on the right part of the track and managed to tiptoe it round, but managed to pick up the win in the end. And that rain is really hammering it down now, isn't it? There's no let up there at all. And I'm surprised we didn't see more issues before that rain really came down. So thankfully everyone getting around safely and happily, and Enzo Richer probably the happiest of them all. That's race 2 then of the Ultimate Formula Cup. It's Enzo Richer winning his 2nd race in a row here at Magny-Cours, and Dylan Estra picking up his 2nd podium in quick succession as a rookie driver and on his debut as well. Nano Lopez showing his fine form in the Formula Renault 2.0. And then it's Evan Moignet in 4th, Aubin Robert Prince in 5th. Frédéric Boileau crossing the line in 6th, and Juan Francisco Soldevini crossed the line in 7th. Arthur Agata crossed the line in 8th. Alain Boucher 9th. Didier Piard in his first weekend as well in the 17 inches. He's the only one racing in the 17-inch class at the moment. Rounding up the top 10, Alexandra Lima 11th. Robert Siska 12th, and unfortunately for Serene Ziffel and Thierry Malholm and Walter Reichardt, they are not going to be classified in this race. Tiptoeing round then is Enzo Richer to make his way back to the pits. And next up we will have the qualifying session for the Ultimate GT Endurance Cup, which I'm excited about. That should be good, especially in a bit of wet. And then don't forget to join us tonight as well for the European Endurance Prototype Cup. That is at, well, if you join us around 5:15, we will be on air, and I can't wait, under the lights. It's going to be amazing. So Enzo Richer climbs out. He is leading the championship by even more points now, and he will be incredibly happy, I'm sure, with that performance, especially keeping it on the right stuff as well in tricky conditions and the wrong tyres. And hopefully we can hear from Enzo very shortly, as I know Chris Stevens is down, ready to speak to the championship leader. And it looks like points at the moment would be Enzo Richer on 254.5 points, Frédéric Boileau on 219, and Soldevini on 210. So he's got a 35.5 point lead at the moment for Ligier. So that's a pretty good lead. That's more than a race win at the moment, which puts him in an incredibly healthy position. Things can change very quickly, I'm sure, as Enzo Ligier knows in this championship, as we saw in Mugello when he managed to crash out of race 1, and then his championship leader was the one winning the most in Mugello. But what a way to respond, Enzo Ligier. Another win for the young driver, and I'm sure he's standing by now to speak to Chris, and we can hear very shortly from Enzo Ligier, and let's hear from him now. Let's go down to Enzo Ligier alongside Chris Stevens.
Winner Enzo Ligier. Enzo, just how tough were the conditions out there?
Yeah, at the end of the race, they were really tough. But yes, I saw the safety car. I saw 6 minutes on the clock. I was there, yes. I need to pass the line with the checkered flag. So, yeah, we did it. Really happy with that. And so Davini, I don't know what he did, but, yeah, we did score some good points.
Yeah, we think he came in for wet tyres, and so that's dropped him down the order a little bit.
Yeah, that my engineer said it the same. But, yeah, we knew that the safety car didn't let us race, because of the condition it was too dangerous, but yeah, it was a great race.
And before that, Dylan was really keeping you honest out there. What was that pressure like?
Yeah, he was putting a bit of pressure, but yeah, I don't know. I saw he didn't follow me everywhere, and he didn't try anything, so yeah, he stayed behind me.
2 out of 3. Can you make it 3?
I hope so. We will see it.
All right, good luck for that one. Congratulations, Enzo. So, yes, that's all from a very wet end to the race 2 of the Ultimate Cup.
You.
Now it's all from the end of race 2 of the Ultimate Formula Cup. Join us for race 3 later on.